This is my first morning at the cabin, fall of 2015. Don't have any great plans, and thought maybe this time I'd just try to get some footage of some of the wildlife. This morning I stepped outside as the coffee was perking, and just to take a look around and see the sounds, and there were 3 wolves standing in the yard. One right there, and then 2 more over behind me. Of course, they went trotting off right away, but they weren't really alarmed. It looked to me like there might have been some young ones and without a leader. Wolf sightings are pretty rare up here. They're around everywhere, but you don't always get to see them, so I thought I'd blown my chance. A short time later, I took a walk over to the west, about a half mile away, and I walked up on those same wolves over by a beaver dam. Now those wolves kept getting closer. I was starting to get a little nervous. I didn't have a gun with me, even though I knew they weren't going to be an issue, but when you're in that situation, you start to wonder. As they kept getting closer, you'll notice sometimes the camera got shaken pretty good, and I was getting a little nervous. Well, this time, I'd finally had enough. They were close enough. They were only about 25 feet away, that first one. So that's when I finally said, "That's close enough, boys." And they took off running. Of course, I was happy to see them running the other way, but in that high grass I wasn't getting a really good count. I didn't realize there was still one missing. As soon as I started to turn around, there was one about 10 feet below me in that grass, and then it took off. It must have cowered down when I spoke. That was too close. Back in Illinois now. Just kind of reminiscing about the trip and thinking over some of the things. After being too close to those wolves, it wasn't a few days later, and I ended up too close to this bull moose in the rut as I was clearing a trail. And finally, the last night at the cabin, I heard noises. I snuck to the door and opened and turned on a light at the same time, and I was looking face to face at a black bear that was trying to break in. That made 3 too close encounters on one trip, and that's when I decided to go back to carrying this with me just for peace of mind. Chances are none of those animals would have ever been a threat to me, but when you get up face to face with any animal, things could change at any time.